educated people, or not even educated, two qualified people, and they can't choose between the two people on who's going to get the job. There's one job, two people, two qualified people. They're going to start detailing it a little bit, and it could be something just that small that prohibits you from getting the job. So you want to take personal pronouns off, and also you want to make sure that you're keeping off present tense for a past job. If you're not currently working that job, then you're not using it in the present. Only your current job, if you're currently working, should be written in the present tense, because you're using present tense as if you're still doing it, but you're not in that job anymore. Okay, so in unnecessary words, you want to remove, or obvious words. So if you have your phone number and your address and your email at the top of your resume, before your email address, you don't have to write email. Before your address, you don't have to write address. Before your phone number, you don't have to write phone number. People know what that is now. I guess when the concept of resumes were new and, this was such a new concept, that was okay to write back in the old days, but you don't have to write what it is anymore. We can clearly see it's a phone number. Hopefully you're not just putting a fax number on your resume and not giving someone a way to contact you. So you don't have to use unnecessary words like that before you actually put what it is that you're going to write. You can also leave off graphs, tables, images. You don't need a picture of yourself. Listen, nobody knows more than me that, I'm in theater and I have a headshot. And unless this is a resume for like a headshot because you're going out for an audition, you do not need to put your picture on it. It really looks tacky on a professional resume. So you want to leave your picture off. And plus it gives people, this is something else that I thought about. If you put a picture on your, first of all, you shouldn't do it. But if you decided that you was just going to go ahead and do it anyway, that better be your most professional, most bomb.com amazing picture. You better have went and got your hair done. You better have went, got a fresh fade, nice cut, shape up, whatever you men do to your hair. You better have gotten on your best suits and ties and tops and blouses and dresses or whatever. You should have your makeup done. You should be flawless in the picture. You should have spent some money for it, because if you're going to be putting a picture on something, you want to be presenting yourself in the best way, or else you leave people open for judgment. And if all the I's aren't dotted and all the T's aren't crossed, then you're leaving yourself open to be like some serious criticism and ridicule. And that's not what you want. So you want to kind of leave it off and not even have to go through all of that. It's just something that's better left undone. So we have a couple more tips, and then we're going to go for a break, and then we're going to come back with something else a little bit more exciting. But here's a good something that you want to leave off your resume: your boss's name, like your current boss's name. If you are currently working, why would you put your current boss's name on your resume unless you're okay with your potential employer contacting your current boss? And even then, unless you know that your current boss is gonna make you shine bright like a diamond, you don't want to put them on there. And if they're contacting your current job, what are you going to say? You don't need to put your current business information on there, and you don't need to be putting your boss's name on there. You can just stay away from that stuff altogether. It's safer just to do that. Also, if you have more than 15 years of experience, you don't need to put any jobs on there that you worked 20 years ago, unless you're going for a government position and the government has asked you to provide every single job that you have ever done in your entire life. You can pretty much make it a safe bet that the past 10 to 15 years, if it was before that, you can leave it off. You also want to leave off jobs that you didn't work very long. If you worked it, I want to say a complete year. If you didn't work it for a complete year, I know different people give different recommendations and advice. But if you didn't work that job, in my opinion, for at least a year, you might want to leave that off your resume. However, you might hear some people say 9 months or something like that. Unless you got some supersonic experience there and it was like you learned some amazing things that you cannot account for in any other way, and that you just have to name if you work with some noteworthy people, some people of great notoriety. Unless it's some kind of situation like that, if it happened and you didn't work there for at least a year, I wouldn't put it on there. Because then, and unless you left for like a very real reason, you're going to set yourself up to have to answer some questions that you may not really be ready to answer. And finally, you want to leave off annoying buzzwords like I'm a go-getter, I think outside the box, I'm a people pleaser. Employers hate, and I think it's with the capital hate, that they hate seeing these kind of words. Now, the words that they do like to see on resume are words like achieved, managed, and resolved. But even those kind of things you got to use in moderation. You can't just go like willy-nilly and you putting all this stuff on your resume. I think the overall gist of everything that I'm trying to say is that you have to be selective over everything that you're putting on your resume and showing that, again, you're selling yourself and you're putting things on your resume that look good, but don't use the fancy fonts and all the curls and stuff like that. And that's another tip that I want to tell you. Use a standard sans font like Arial, and that way it looks good. But what I noticed is like when you use all the curly fonts and stuff like that, it's hard to read, especially if you're not using spaces and stuff like that in between the lines. It really looks all jumbled up and they can't even read it. And I'm gonna tell you right now, if somebody gets your resume and it's all curled up and the font looks a mess, or it's too small or too big and they can't read it, they just gonna throw it in the trash and go to the next one because it's 20 other people that's trying to get the same job. So do yourself a favor, instead of trying to be macho or cute or whatever it is, just go ahead and kind of follow the rules, stick to a standard on your resume, and sell yourself in a way where they're going to call you and you're going to land that interview. All right? That's the best thing that you can basically do for yourself.
It's been a long day without you, my friend. And I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. We've come a long way from where we began. Oh, I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. When I see you again. Why'd you have to leave so soon? Why'd you have to go? Why'd you have to leave me when I needed you the most? 'Cause I don't really know how to tell you without feeling much worse. I know you're in a better place, but it's always gonna hurt. Carry on. Give me all the strength I need to carry on. It's been a long day without you, my friend. And I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. We've come a long way from where we began. Oh, I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. When I see you again. How do I breathe without you? I'm feeling so cold. I'll be waiting right here for you till the day you're home. Carry on. Give me all the strength I need to carry on. So let the light guide
Hey now, we back with you. This is Life Enhancement Radio. You can listen to us live on lifeenhancementradio.com. We got shows all week long for your listening pleasure. Amazing shows and amazing hosts. And you can listen to me. I'm your girl, Sherelle Ashton, right here live every Wednesday night on lifeenhancementradio.com. Look for that listen live button and go to the show, The Compassionate Kind, and I'll be right here, right with you. That was Charlie Pugh with See You Again. And we're here for the New Year's show, gearing you up for the new year, trying to help you get that new job or change that career, rev up your weight loss, and help you to get your New Year resolutions to stick. If you just missed it, we just shared some tips so that you can spruce up that resume and get that job that you want to. If you missed it, you might want to hit the replay on lifeenhancementradio.com. The replay will be right there for you. And I also shared an article that I got some of those tips from on my Twitter at Blondie Ash. And there's a lot more tips for you too, but I gave you some of those most important ones to get you moving and get you going into the new year for that job search. So now we're talking about losing a little bit of that weight. 5 ways you can literally lose weight in your sleep. That's right. Literally lose weight while you sleep. How can you do that, Sherelle? How do you do it? Well, I'm sharing 5 tips with you right now on how you can lose weight in your sleep. You might want to write these down in that journal of yours so you can start those New Year's resolutions, or you might want to put your digital recorder down and press record so you can find out how you can lose weight in your sleep. That first tip for losing weight in your sleep is get some protein in before bed. Yeah, that tip kind of shocked me a little bit. I wasn't kind of thinking about that one, but they say that when you get some protein in before bed, instead of snacking on other stuff, you can try a protein shake. Florida State University researchers found that men who had a shake with 30 grams of protein before bed experienced a higher resting energy expenditure, which is how much energy or calories that you burn at rest the next morning, compared to those who ate nothing before bed. So an added bonus is that protein may also aid in muscle repair overnight. So the more muscle mass you have, the more calories you burn at rest. And so you know how they say muscle weighs more than fat. So you know how you see someone who has a lot of muscle and they weigh a lot, but they look real slender. That's because muscle weighs more than fat. So they're basically just saying if you have protein at night, you can burn more calories at rest than people who don't. So they're saying fit that protein in before bed. And that's something new. I had never really heard of that. I mean, sometimes at night, I, like to have a little snack or something, and you think that, but I guess they're saying just go for that healthier shake rather than go for those chips. And, that sounds like a winner. What else can you do to literally lose weight in your sleep? Well, sleep in complete darkness. Yep, that's tip number 2 to literally lose weight in your sleep. Sleep in complete darkness. If you live in an area that gets exposed to outdoor lights, consider getting yourself some blackout curtains or shades for your bedroom. You want to make sure that you turn clocks away from your face, anything that glows. You want to stop looking at your cell phone. They say cut the TV off. And I know it's hard. I like looking at TV too until I fall asleep. And we're all guilty of holding that cell phone in our hands. That last text message, when we hear that phone, we have to grab it and see who it is. And that's why I was saying, for me, like when I'm at work, I have to have my phone silent, or I prefer it silent. It can be on vibrate, but I put it on silent so that, my clients aren't interrupted